Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's a beautiful day, and it's a great time to make new connections, have conversations, and also reach out and be part of the pirate community. You know, the Pirate Broadcast is here to bring you interesting people doing interesting things. And I really encourage you to engage and connect with individuals that are on the Pirate Broadcast. I'm going to be sending out notes and messages and, things like that. And it's easy to recognize a pirate because they're kind and they're considerate and they're willing to have a conversation. And today, we're going to have a conversation with somebody that I have grown to enjoy time with and have conversation with. And Howard is an individual that is an entrepreneur doing some amazing things out in the market today in an industry that you don't often think about. However, we often have to think about every morning. So, Howard, good morning. How are you doing today?
Russ, I'm doing great. And thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. And I really appreciate the content and every morning, the guests and the sharing that occurs in the pirate community. It's really been great brain food for me. As you know, we're in the same time zone. So it's always helpful on the way to work, mostly when I'm listening. It really provides what I would call a frame and filter for whoever the guest is, whether it was Rob yesterday or Annie Lee or Andrew or Tisha. I mean, you've had so many, David Johnson, Matt O'Brien. Their stimuli really provides that frame or that filter that really sets me up for the day. So I do appreciate it because it's like a free gift and it's fantastic.
Well, and thank you so much for saying that, because I believe everyone has a gift. And, if we can have a conversation and draw something out of the conversation that's going to help somebody else either realize that they have an ability and an opportunity to improve their life or their situation or change their life or their situation just a little bit, every day is progress. And if we just make a little bit of progress every single day and look a little brighter, things just go so much smoother. It's just, especially in these times right now that we have so much chaos and confusion and a lot of unknowns. And so as an entrepreneur and yourself, maybe you can talk a little bit about your journey and how you arrived at this place in time. And then let's go from there. Because you have a little bit of a story yourself.
Thanks, Russ. Yeah. So I appreciate it. It definitely has been a journey. I spent time, fortunately, in a couple of different great business environments, a couple of Fortune 500 companies, also some smaller companies. And the best way I would describe it, Russ, is I had almost like a Forrest Gump-like experience with my career, where I would find myself in different situations, whether I was ready for them or not. But sometimes you're just in a situation and you're doing the best to adapt and learning, right? There's always learning that occurs. So from that experience, that chain of experiences, I got to a point where, yes, I've become an entrepreneur later in one's career.
Yeah.
But here I am. And really what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to apply all those key learnings and observations and experiences that I benefited from, the good and also the hard lessons for sure.
Yeah.
And then apply it now in current time. But there's so much learning going on because the marketplace is so dynamic. There's so many people doing so many terrific things. And coming back to this theme of frames and filters, just trying to pull that information, frame it, filter it, and just try to really focus on a strategy, right? In terms of what's going to provide value, what's going to provide benefit. And that's essence what my current mission and focus has been on.
I really like that concept of frames and filters, because as we go through life and we have an experience, whether it's a good experience or something that teaches us something that we don't necessarily enjoy, we have to filter out what the lesson is in that. What is the experience that we can take forward with us in life? And we are the accumulation of everything we experience. And so a lot of times, especially for entrepreneurs, we have the experience of our history, and we have to take that and say, okay, well, what can I leverage and utilize going forward that's going to, filter out the negative and allow the positive information to pass forward so I can help more people. And I guess the question I would like to ask you, and one of the things that I'm always curious about is, how do you see, and what do you see, and how do you filter your life, and how does an entrepreneur fit into that? I mean, because especially coming from a Fortune 500 company, and, I've worked for large organizations, and it is a transition and a mindset shift to go from a Fortune 500 organization over to an entrepreneur, mindset. So talk a little bit about that and what that means to you being an entrepreneur.
Great question, Russ. So, what comes to mind in the best way I would describe it is it really starts with the customer, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
you've got to focus on providing a great experience for a customer. And very simply, it was Theodore Levitt, right? His whole focus, the number one purpose of a business is to create a customer. So, when
Mm-hmm.
you're starting out, if you can just put your whole mindset around what can I do to provide a customer some delight? And frankly, a lot of times what you think's going to work isn't going to work, and vice versa. There's going to be some things that a customer is looking for. And many times what a customer says and what a customer really wants or behaves can be different.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it from the standpoint of, yes, being in a Fortune 500 company when you've got tremendous resources and there's tremendous bandwidth, but at the same time, there's a lot of movable parts and things many times can be very slow, can be very bureaucratic, and quite frankly, can be even not in alignment, or it can take a lot of time to get alignment. When you are small, you have the benefit of, yes, you're small, you do have less resources, no two ways about it, but you
Yeah.
can be nimble, you can be customer focused, and it's really just adopting this attitude, win with what you have. So I don't spend a lot of time focusing on all the things I don't have, but I
Right.
really focus on what do I have. So an example of that is when I am rewarded, I should say, for a customer that's really interested in my product line. To me, that becomes even that much more valuable because I don't have as many customers as, for example, a Fortune 500 company does.
Right.
So when you think about it from a customer experience standpoint, we all, as human beings, we do want to be recognized, we do want to be acknowledged, we do want to be heard. And my whole goal and focus is what can I do within reason that's legitimately and authentically going to engage with the customer, knowing that, look, my brand and my oral care brand, it's designed a certain way. It's not going to be for everybody.
Right.
That's okay. But that feedback, even if it's negative feedback, I'm at a stage right now where that feedback becomes so valuable because coming back to learning and coming back to how we frame and filter it, I know that that information is going to help me be better tomorrow. It's going to help me make adjustments. It's going to help me be a better listener in terms of providing great customer delight. So a lot of it is just thinking about the customer, but from the standpoint of not what you believe the customer is, but really taking the cues when you are fortunate to be rewarded with a customer who's interested in your product line to really do what you can to engage with that customer.
Yeah. Customer experience is, I mean, it's a huge industry in its own. And discovering what it is about your product from some of your best customers also lends itself to identify what you can talk about, what you can present and what you can propose to other potential clients, or people that are interested in your organization or your products and services. I think it's really important for us to understand that sometimes, and I'm so guilty of this, Howard. I've been
Mhm.
so guilty over the years thinking, hey, I got a great idea. I'm going to scratch my own itch. I'm going to create a product and everybody's going to love it and they're going to run to the cash register to buy it. And it's not necessarily the case. Sometimes you have to ask the customer what they want, or you have to fill a niche. And that's kind of what you've done with your product. And I'd like to talk a little bit about that in a minute, because it's so important to not only fill a niche, it's important to understand who you're talking to in that niche. And I'm sure that you've had some experience and discovery along the way in that area. So, do you have any thoughts to share with the community here?
Yeah, for sure. So, there's a very simple process I've adopted that I've learned, and it's a environmental scan. It's a form of strategic planning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's really this environmental scan. Most people, when they think strategic planning, I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people jump immediately into vision and mission and go into a SWOT, right?
Yeah.
But what I've learned is that if you do this environmental scan first and you're looking at trends, you're looking at social trends, you're looking at technological trends, you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at competitive trends, you're looking at customer trends, you're looking at economic trends. There's a series of trends that you look at. And if you could at least do that first, coming back to the framing and the filtering, that really provides a great frame into then you're ready to then start looking at SWOT and start thinking about your vision, start thinking about your mission. So it's really that process when you think about trends in the market, health and wellness, big trend, especially now, call it, it's being amplified more because of the pandemic, that
Yeah.
people are more conscientious of what they're putting in their bodies, of living a healthier lifestyle, of trying to maintain or improve immunity. So that is kind of from the standpoint of just coming back to what we were just referring to, the opportunity right now to spend time listening to the customer, but getting, in a way, you have now more permission because people are more confined at home. They're working from home. Unfortunately, many people right now are maybe between opportunities, but they've got time to talk.
Yeah.
And so taking this time to spend a little bit more time to understand what they're looking for and then framing that into this environmental scan, that really kind of sets your potential for developing a strategy in terms of how to go to market. And that's kind of what we've anchored.
Absolutely. I love I love that approach, and haven't practiced it myself as often as I would like to have engaged. It's like, yeah, I know
Right.
everything. It's like, it's like bumping bumper cars some days. It's like, okay, that didn't work. That didn't work. And you just have to keep coming back to what people are actually asking for. And the best way to understand what they're asking for is to talk to them. So, and it takes time, it takes effort, and it's not easy. So how long did it take you to generate this product from idea to delivery in terms of your process?
Great
How long
question.
that?
Candidly, it's been a couple years in the making and a couple different iterations. But
Uh-huh.
as a company, we launched the company just over a year ago. We brought our first product to market. It was actually, we have toothpaste, mouthwash, and now breath spray. We have formulations that have also CBD in it. So
Hmm.
we're not a CBD company, but our CBD products, we actually got to market in October. So it's 11 months
Yeah.
almost to the day. And then the rest of our product line, we were able to bring to market this past end of February. And then we know what's happened since March. So it's
Yeah.
still relatively new. We're still in that early stage. But what I can tell you is I'm convicted there's been enough validation with
Yeah.
early adopters. I do know there's a tribe for the product and for the brand. Russ, what I don't know, and kind of a question for the Pirates, I'm trying to best determine how large could that tribe be. Is it only 1,000 people? Could it be 10,000? Could be more than that? And that was
Right.
really, that is the mission that we had for 2020 going to 2021, is how big can that tribe be?
Yeah. Well, and you know, I think that approach is very, very solid because, you know, word of mouth and this idea that I'm going to tell my friends about this, and I think it's a great thing, is a solid marketing effort that really takes on its own personality over the duration. And the fact that another unique thing about this, and I don't want to miss this point today, is that the pH value is balanced, which I love. And thank you for sending me some product. I love the product. I love the fact that it's pH balanced, and it, you know, it's refreshing. It's not chemical based, and it's, you know, it's everything healthy that I would like to put in my body, even though I have been known to put unhealthy things in my body. Let's not lie, folks. This is not a perfect body. This has been beat up pretty good. Lots of experience. However, I love the product. I love the idea, and I love the direction you're going. And I just wanted to share it with you and highlight the fact that there are people doing amazing things, start from nothing, have an idea, generate a product, and put it out in the market. And that's the process we all can understand and appreciate. We don't go to the grocery store without somebody seeing a shelf full of ideas that somebody took action on. So the idea that you take action, you've developed this product, and you've pursued it, and now you're building a tribe around that is important to understand. And I think the pirate community can appreciate that. And I encourage and applaud you in all your adventures, because Howard, this is, I know from experience how challenging it can be. And and a couple of startups that I've been involved in, you know, it's not always easy, and it doesn't always end up in, you know, sometimes it doesn't end like you imagine it would be. So anything we can do to support you is what we want to do. So.
Well, Russ, I very much appreciate it. And certainly any pirate out there, love to connect on LinkedIn, or if we're already connected, send me a note. And I'm even happy to send you a free gift on me, not selling, but the more I can have people try the product and give feedback,
Yeah.
that's really what I'm looking at. Because strategically right now, it's really two things. One, create brand awareness for a brand that no one's heard of. And then
Mm-hmm.
two, gain trial and gain that feedback to make it better. And that's really where we're at right now.
I love it. I love it. In fact, speaking of community, let's go in and see a couple of people that are here today. Andrew, hey gang, how you doing, Andrew? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Kathy says good morning. Thank you so much for being here. Gabriel, I really want to connect with Gabriel at some point in time. He and I are doing bookends on the day for shows every day. So,
Oh, and
Andrew,
he had some awesome.
I I don't get to catch his show as often as I'd like to, and but I do like to go back and check it out. Uh, Andrew says, "Sorry, I'm late. Had to brush my teeth first." It's always good to brush your teeth, Andrew. Howard Kaufman is so amazing. Two incredible individuals having a wonderful conversation. Thank you, Gabriel. I really appreciate that. Sherry Lawley is out here. Good morning, Russ and Howard. And by the way, everyone, if you reach out to Howard, just drop a personal message and say, saw you on the Pirate broadcast, or heard you on the podcast, or saw you on YouTube channel, which you can all subscribe to, by the way. It's free. And so just reach out and say, Howard, I saw you on the Pirate community, wanted to connect. So he knows where you came from. There's a relationship there. Know it well. Thank you, Sherry. Sherry. Lewis says, good morning, Russ and Howard. I hope you have a groovy day. All my days are groovy, just sometimes a deeper groove than I'd like. Is it just me, or is this malfunctioning all choppy? We're seeing everything is okay here. Is anybody experiencing choppy feed or disconnect or bad internet? The internet we don't own the internet, so we don't have control over it. So Angie Schumann is awesome in Wisconsin. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, everyone. Tawny, this is already such good vibes. I am so glad I clicked to watch. Tawny, well, thank you. That's very kind of you. Appreciate you. Andrew says, Andrew Deutsch jump to YouTube. He's Sherry says, jump to YouTube, Andrew. Good morning, Angie. Tracy says, good morning, Tracy. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Thanks. It started to work again. So we got connection back, everyone. So Andrew saved. We saved the day. Sarathi. Hi, Pirates. Hi, Russ and Howard. Good morning, evening. Thank you so much. I look at trends as well, Howard. Being a pirate is a rising trend. That's so kind. I really appreciate you. And then we got, is it Isley? Please, how do I reach out for advisory on building business portfolio and resume? Well, you can connect with me. Just bookruss.com and pick a day and book some time with me. Be happy to talk to you. Linked in, yes. Not sure what that means, but woohoo, switched over to YouTube, Kathy Spooner. So YouTube works. We're also streaming on Periscope, which is over on Twitter. So if you like to consume it, and every day we're going to have, this broadcast is podcast and other transcription and everything is over at russjohns.com after the fact too. So Tracy, I'm doing great. Thank you. Wendy, sending you love and prayers to Seattle. Tell your dad hi. Tell your folks hello. Tell them I said hi. Hey, Tracy. Hyatt Ives is here. Hyatt, late this morning. Good to be here, Hyatt. The LinkedIn one is not working for me. Well, I keep asking LinkedIn to fix their stuff.
It runs about 50% of the time.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't even pick up, and that's the point. If you go to russjohns.com/pirate broadcast, you can watch all of the replays. I got over 230 episodes out there, and every episode is shared as a replay there. You can go there, check it out. You can subscribe to get notified for the next episode. So if you miss them, you can always come back. So just
Russ,
say.
what I do a lot too is if I'm having LinkedIn issue, I just go over to YouTube and it comes up pretty quick.
I should probably start promoting YouTube, huh?
Yeah.
Put some effort over in YouTube. So it is a video platform, I heard. Anyway, otherwise, all cool. Tracy, hi, Angie. Wendy, will do. They send their love back to you, Admiral. Thank you, Wendy. It's awesome. The pirate community has been so refreshing, Howard. And I know this goes to your conversation about your product and having a tribe and a community around it. So, it's not necessarily SEO or, optimizing all the keywords on your website and things like that. It's real people having a real conversation and coming back and talking about that. So what steps are you taking to develop your community around ORL and your products and services?
Great question, Russ. So certainly we've got content that we developed specifically about improving your own oral care and sharing that information because there's definitely an education part to it. For example, the perfect pH and the benefits behind it. Mm-hmm. We know that to many consumers, they're not that familiar with pH. There's a parallel to how people thought about gluten maybe 10, 15 years ago, where now people are more conscientious about celiac disease and being gluten-free, where before they didn't. You're starting to see that with pH, with everything from bottled water, Essentia, Icelandica. There's even a new women's personal care brand that's now in Target called Fresh, and it's
Mm,
spelled PHRESH. So there's more of a, coming back to the trend, there's more of a growing trend of how important pH balance is for your overall health, because it helps reduce overall inflammation, and that helps reduce the chance of other things happening in your overall body. So being pH balance, we extend that through what we're developing on Instagram, Facebook, and also active in a lot of different groups. For example, a target very much an advocate for us are actually dental hygienists. And there's many
mm,
groups out there in social media where they share information and exchange information. So that's definitely been a market for us. Dentists, people who are looking for gluten-free products. So there's different segments that we are targeting within the marketplace to help, again, extend the awareness and the reach of the brand. And the
yeah,
more people I can at least interact with and ultimately at least get them a product, even if it's a sample,
yeah,
that's really what we're trying to get done right now.
yeah. Interviewing some of these individuals would probably be beneficial. So when
Yeah, I know there's a
you get
lot.
that point, somebody,
We're very we're very primitive in a lot of fronts. We have a lot of room to grow. And I know there were some things, for example, when you had Matthew O'Brien on, he's doing some wonderful things. And again, it definitely further inspired. I know there's opportunities for us to begin focusing in on the next step here.
yeah. Well, I encourage everyone to connect and find out more about your product, and also reach out, connect with Howard. All the pirate community. I encourage this, conversation to take place, because we're just one conversation away from having a different outcome in our life. And I really encourage people to believe that that's the case. And it's happened to me more often than not. It's and it doesn't have to mean that you're always out to get something from the conversation. Sometimes giving something is the best thing you can do. And Howard has been so thoughtful and considerate, and I know that this year has been challenging for you as well, in your personal life. And so I just encourage people to stay engaged, stay connected, start the conversation. Just be open and honest about what you're looking for and what you're attempting to accomplish. And I know there's somebody out there that's willing to assist and support you along your journey. So, Howard, it's always amazing to talk and have a conversation with people like yourself and you personally. I just enjoy the conversation every time we get on the phone or on a call. So thank you so
Hey,
much for being here.
Russ, thank you so much. Can I just add one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, because I think this applies to anyone, whatever your current situation is, whatever you're challenged with. And as an entrepreneur, you're going to have those moments where either A, you're lonely, or B, rejection, right?
Yeah,
And you just have to maintain the belief that when you encounter a no, it doesn't mean no, it means not now. So
yeah,
if you think of it that way, I think you're going to really, a lot of times when we're encountering rejection, it just may mean the time's not right. We'll come back another day and try again.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, as you know, everyone, this is something that we can actually take, use, and actually draw it into our own experience. And thank you so much for being here, Howard. Once again, the oral line is pH balanced. It's all natural. And we could go on and on about this product. We'll have to have you on again, Howard, and talk to you a little deeper and watch your progress as we go through this exercise of building community and tribe and help you along the way. So
Russ, thanks again for the opportunity. And again, I really appreciate the community and just thanks for sharing some time today.
thank you so much. And everyone, as you know, kindness is cool. Smiles are free. And you enjoy the day. Thanks, Howard. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.